That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Ryan O'Halloran.
Jason David Frank.
Humberto Ramos.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin With Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter. Thank you so much for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't done it yet, we'll wait. Hit subscribe. Because that way you can come back over and over again. Check out authors, artists, filmmakers, musicians, creators of all kinds. We're here right now. We're hanging with author Robbie Cox, the author of Always Amy and Warrior's Blade. Both of those are available right now on pre-order.
Pre-order?
That's right. So you can get those at Amazon. We're going to put links down below. Go get those books. No, right now. Then you can come back and then you'll want to know more about Robbie because you read those books. Well, you won't read those books like right now because that would take a while.
Pre-order, yeah. When Always Amy comes out at the end of this month and The Warrior's Blade comes out 1st of June.
Wow. Fantastic. You have been very busy. The last time we sat you in the chair, we got you relaxed in the sunshine for a little while, right?
Christmas. I watched that episode the other day, actually. It was pretty cool, yeah.
I love it when they say that. It just makes me feel better. I don't know.
Yeah, it was back when I had hair and everything.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
It's all that writing. You've been writing. You've been a writing fiend. You've been just
staying busy for sure.
Yeah.
Staying busy for sure.
So last time we actually saw you was Space Coast Book Lovers.
Yes, last June.
Last June. Before that was In the Chair, which was a year before that. So you've had 2 years. That's a lot of pages.
A lot of pages.
A lot of pages.
A lot of pages.
So let's take a look at Always Amy and Warrior Blade. Okay, we'll start with Always Amy.
Always Amy is
Give us a little book blurb.
Always Amy's the third in my Harper Twins series, then the final. It started with Sibling Rivalry a couple years back in 2015. Taming Carla was next. Came out last October, I believe. And then Always Amy will come out at the end of this month. Always Amy, the twin sister, and Clint Asher. Clint Asher his wife ran off on him about a year ago, and now she's suddenly back, and he's in a relationship with Amy, and they're trying to work out all those issues when the wife suddenly shows back up.
Which does tend to
make things a mess.
Relationships, by definition, are a bit of a mess.
That's why I love writing. The whole reason I write is to explore different relationships and different what-ifs and scenarios and different personalities. Amy and Carla both had a similar incident happen to them in high school, but it caused each of them to go different directions. They responded differently.
And that's, you know, as much as we like to think we're in such amazing control of our lives, so much of what we do is in response to the stimulus that comes at us. Whether it be an emotional stimulus, a breakup, or a good thing or a bad thing, or whether it be physical stimulus, whether, you know, do you turn left or do you turn right when you see the squirrel on the road? Right. Or do you not turn at all, which is probably what I, oops. But it's so much of that is how we live. We live by that reactionary.
How we respond.
Yeah, that response. So the ways that we can respond are infinite. So when you're writing characters like these, again, you said same event, same activity, basically at this point in their lives, but they go in very different directions. So how do you decide as a writer what you wanted to explore with each character?
Basically, I took them to the opposite. Each one was the opposite ends of a spectrum. With the Carla, it sent her on a spiral to whereas one, she didn't think she deserved love, so she was promiscuous. She was in every relationship she could get that lasted maybe 3-4 months. And then she'd do something to purposely screw up the relationship to get out of it, to keep going with her behavior. So she was, she came across Mitch Greenway. She was trying to use him like she used everybody else, but he fell for her and proved to her that she could be who she really was, and he could accept her for that. Okay. So even her wild side, he could handle, and they would do it together.
Wow.
With Amy, Amy took the event in the other extreme and pulled in on herself. She just didn't take any chances. She didn't take any risks. She stayed single for the most part. She had one other relationship after high school in the story I tell, and he left her for a better job in D.C., so she was on her own. And then she gets Clint Asher, whose wife was a lot like Carla to a degree. So Amy in the book thinks she has to be like that in order to keep him. But what he wants is Amy the way she is. He wants the calmness and the sedentary life. We can sit home and watch a Cary Grant movie on TV and be okay, and as opposed to going and hitting the club.
You write a lot of younger characters. You and I are both getting a little gray in the beard here for that.
The beard. Thanks for saying beard. Yeah. All the gray hair left. I do. I actually. I have a lot of my character. I start back in the Rutherford series. I have a character, a father, which I love the parents in the stories, the side characters. Bert is he's in a wheelchair. He's crotchety. He's cantankerous, and he's fun to write. He just doesn't take any guff. And those type of parents.
It's fun to write the characters that are older than us. It's fun to write the characters that are younger than us.
And I don't think I write any that are my age.
Yeah, I think because what happens is I think we're kind of, the midlife is a nice calm period.
Yes,
which is there's an intense lack of interesting drama in a calm period in life. I think that's why everybody has their midlife crisis, because that makes their life interesting.
Well, we're smart enough that we can't get away with what the younger kids can get away with and use it as an excuse, oh, we're young. And we're not old enough to get away with what the Betty Whites and the kids.
Oh, no, they can say anything.
They can say anything.
They say anything.
I'm looking forward to that age. To say what I want. It's my age.
I don't think anybody out there on the web is looking forward to me being that age.
It's like, just say what we want.
So, Warrior Blade. Okay, this is relationships 101. This is just down to earth, great. If you had to put it in a movie genre, this is sort of the romantic movie genre.
Nicholas Sparks
kind of stuff, right? So, Warrior Blade, because you take things from over here and you go way over here.
Warrior's Blade is the third in my urban fantasy series, Warrior of the Way. Reaping the Harvest was the first. I've been pressured to get this book out by several of the readers. It's finally coming out. It's the series started when Richard came across a dying elf in his city who gave him a sword, the guardian sword, and that threw him.
Why is it that dying elves always seem to have some mystical weapon?
Something about them.
Every time. I don't know where they keep them, but when they die, they're always passing off the mystical necklaces and swords.
Keeps it going.
It does. They're always. If a dying elf tries to hand you something, walk away. Walk away. That's all I'm saying.
Richard wished he had. He didn't want it. He thought the guy was an actor in a local theater.
Most people, this is an elf. Yeah, most people would.
Who's doing Lord of the Rings around here? He wanted to know. So,
yes.
But it puts him in a battle. And,
we spent the last month or so touring to Ren fairs.
Okay.
Elves, they don't even faze me anymore. It's like they go to 7-Eleven, they hang out. They don't even notice them anymore.
You wouldn't know what you're being handed.
Yeah.
You'd think it was a big gulp, but it wasn't. It was a magical potion. There you go.
That's it. I'm gone, man. I'm not taking even big gulps from elves anymore. That's it. You have a very eclectic taste in what you write.
I think the storylines fit certain genres.
Yeah.
So I write the genre to fit the story.
Yeah. What inspires you to write in multiple genres? Is it kind of a boredom, or is it do you have a passion for each genre, or what really drives you to write so many different types of stories?
It's the ideas, the creative energy. Like I said, everything. Even the Warrior of the Way series is basically a study in relationships. Some of them, to me, just deserve different genres. I have some paranormal out there. I actually have some mystery books in the works that'll be coming out next year. And it's basically what happens if this takes place. And just the way my mind works, I can never.
The worst part about writing a mystery, by the way, is as a writer, you have it figured out, and trying not to let them figure it out.
Yeah,
because you have it figured out, right? So, because in order to map your story, you have to know. You know who done it right away. Not letting them know, because as the writer, you're so tempted to just give them that peek, and then you have to back it off And you're like, no, save that. That's chapter 9.
Yeah, you don't give too much away too soon.
Yeah.
With mine, the first in the series, basically the Fritzy Mysteries. No More Tricks will be the name of the first one. She is actually a hooker that solves crime. Her friend died, so that's what threw her into it. So basically, it's like, which of her circle of friends will be the least likely people would suspect? That's who I'm going to make the murderer. Now,
nice.
Why did he kill this person? You know,
the why. Why is always a great question.
You have to have
when you
a why.
Get when you get with people. You know, when you're dealing with relationships and people and how they interact, the why becomes probably more important than the how, and so much more interesting.
Yep.
Because people, we think funny. Some of our whys don't make any sense at all, except to anybody but us.
I think that when I watch people, yeah. Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? And they couldn't tell you. They couldn't tell you at all.
Yep.
So, Robbie, got Space Coast Book Lovers coming up 2018.
Yep, looking forward to it.
We talked to Terry a little bit about that.
Yep,
right?
We're excited. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Now, I understand from Terry that she's doing something a little bit new this year. We got like 10 authors that are releasing books exclusively.
We are. Warriors of the Blade will actually be released first in paperback.
First in paperback, exclusive release at Space Coast Book Lovers.
You can only get it there at first.
Wow.
And then the week after, they'll be able to get it online.
That's fantastic,
so,
man.
I think there are 10 authors that are doing it. We're having a big release party.
It's a great time for a vacation in Cocoa Beach.
Beautiful.
Because you can't get these 10 books anywhere else except Cocoa Beach during this event.
Yep. Brand new content, never seen before.
You guys are on the road all the time, man. You're traveling around. You're doing conferences and conventions and everything that you can do. What do you got planned coming up? Where are you going to be?
We have a couple of family trips. I've actually been branching out and teaching workshops lately. So I taught one at the local writers group here. Next month in April, we are attending the Authors for Authors conference. I'll be teaching a workshop on relationships lead to readers, which lead to fans.
Nice.
At that conference, I'll be doing a couple of other workshops over the summer, and then Space Coast is the first trip out of the gate, and then we're going to Huntsville, Alabama, Kansas City, Missouri, back to Orlando a couple of times.
Globetrotters. You got to see them on the road, guys. Find them at an event. Go to Amazon. Check out the books. There are how many now?
26 titles out.
26 titles. Yeah. What a journey.
It's been fun.
What a journey. It's been about a 6-year journey so far.
Yeah, published my first novel in 2012. So yeah, 6 years.
So 6 years. Let me ask you, that first time you push publish, right? And of course 2 weeks later you were a best-selling New York Times, millionaire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But since then, because we blow that first million pretty fast.
Yeah. By the end of the day.
By the end of the day, it's gone. So what's it feel like now? What's the difference, the distinction between that first time that you kind of nervously, you're like, okay, this is it. I'm an author. And then now, 6 years later, 26 titles later.
You know what? I get nervous every time, exactly the same way every time I hit that publish button. Yeah. I told the ladies the other day that I was nerve-wracked because I put the Warrior's Blade up for pre-order, and once you put up, you're stuck.
You're done.
You have to get it finished. So I made myself put on a deadline. So I get just as nervous, the nerves about whether they're going to like it or enjoy it or anything else. But to me, it's just fun. It's just a rush to your stories, your love, your characters, your people. And I've got a readers group on Facebook called Robbie's Rascals, where a lot of my readers and fans are in there, and they're the ones that are inspiring me to keep going with certain storylines because they've fallen in love with these characters. And like the Warrior's Blade, I've been, get this book out. Why are you taking so long?
With every book we get better. We become better writers.
Yeah.
But there's never a moment where we're comfortable writers. Comfort's a writer's enemy. The minute that you are comfortable, you just it becomes passé to you as a creator.
And the key is, I think, to keep learning and keep striving to learn, both in your craft and in your research of your stories and everything else. Because once you think you've hit that plateau and you know it all, you've probably lost it.
Yeah. It's probably trying to move on to something that you don't know that you'll find interesting again.
Bored. Yeah.
Okay, she's going to wiggle that card back there. We're going to say thank you to our partners and friends. Something Unique Magazine, Famous Faces and Funnies, Krypton Radio, Off the Chain Radio with Yvonne Mason, Space Coast Comics, Asylum Convention Entertainment Services, and our great friends at the coming up, we have Space Coast Book Lovers Conference in May.
End of May, beginning of June.
End of May, beginning of June. 75 authors.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, you could say that.
I get one table, so I'm good.
I'm going to get I could just have my jeans sewed in the chair to hold me up after 75 authors. So we are going to say goodbye, guys. Remember, subscribe, log on, tune in, and see who we're hanging with next.